Welcome back to the Bahrain Outer Circuit, which is arguably the more fun layout of the iconic circuit at Sakir. In front of us are Nico Hochi in the black BMW and Tobias Ogrodnik in the Bend livery, who is a familiar face from a previous video. But before we know it, we're gonna go green at Bahrain. We match the acceleration of the BMW and the Ford's acceleration this time around is pretty even. There are a couple guys close behind, but we're gonna take it cautiously into turn 1. There are two guys on our outside. We're gonna take a very tight line into the hairpin of turn 1, but however onto the exit of turn 2 we really get boxed in. We get hit from behind, a little bit of contact and yellow rear bumper damage for us. Now we're on the inside for turn 4 on this red BMW of Marius Sagan. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his name, but now we're on his outside and we're gonna try now to go on the inside. It switches to the inside and into the chicane, the heart of sector 2. He, in the BMW, manages to defend his position. However, we're still right in the back of the BMW driver. We're getting that slipstream. We pull to the inside. Can we make a move stick? No, we can't. We're gonna back out of it. And hopefully we're gonna get a run onto this main straight, but we were just a little bit too far back and we kind of messed up our exit out of the final corner. We now move on to what is, I believe, lap 3. Tobias Ogrodnik in the Ben livery and Nico Hochi in the black BMW. As I said before, they are both battling for P1. Nico Hochi in the slipstream of Tobias Ogrodnik. He pulls to the outside. He's gonna go right around the outside of Ogrodnik. Unfortunately, he goes a little bit deep, so it doesn't work. Ogrodnik manages to keep hold of his place in first position. That is very close battling from both of them. However, Nico Hochi is gonna get another bite of the cherry into turn 1 on the next lap. He goes down the inside of Tobias Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik tries to hold it around the outside. He does. He gets the inside for turn 2. Hochi though gets a better exit out of turn 3 onto the second straight, and Hochi is now fully ahead of Tobias Ogrodnik as they head into turn 4. Ogrodnik has no chance of fighting back, and so Nico Hochi in P1. Let's move on to our POV though. This is already lap 7 as in front is DJ Pigeon battling with Marius Sagan. The two red BMW drivers going toe to toe as DJ Pigeon kind of tries to break the slipstream. He's staying in the middle of the track. Sagan though is gonna send it down the inside of turn 4. Pigeon's gonna try to hold it around the outside, but to no use. Sagan is now up to the podium positions. Now we're sorta right in the back of both of them. But as you can see here, DJ Pigeon gets a really bad run exiting the chicane. He gets a really poor exit, and now we have the slipstream, which makes it even worse for him. So we're gonna pull to the inside of the final corner. Can we get later on the brakes than him? We don't really do that. He manages to hold on around the outside somehow, so we're gonna have to tuck back into his slipstream as there was a Porsche stranded on the side of the track on the left hand side. But the slipstream, we're gaining over 250 kilometers an hour, and we're gonna try it around the outside of turn 1 this time. We go a little bit deep on the outside curb, which you don't really want, and unfortunately for us, DJ Pigeon manages to keep his place in P4. It takes us until lap 10 to get another run on DJ Pigeon, as once again he gets a poor exit out of the chicane. He's gonna go defensive on the inside. We're gonna tuck behind into a slipstream. We're gonna pull to the outside of the final corner this time. Last time we were on the inside, this time we're on the outside as we try to make the move stick, but unfortunately he pushes us wide. We're gonna have to concede the place as P6, the BMW in P6 behind of Frank Nordbrook, is now looking for a run on us. He has a sniff and he has a slipstream. We go defensive on the inside, which forces him to the outside line. We managed to defend that nicely as we hit the apex curb as well, and the bollard for good measure. But the important thing is we get to keep P5 and our sights are still set on DJ Pigeon in front. Look behind though at the two BMWs. That is the BMW of Tira Main trying to go right round the outside of Frank Norbrook, which turns into the inside as they go into turn 5. So the South Korean of Tira Main manages to make the move on Frank Norbrook. Very opportunistic there. On lap 12, however, look at how close we are to DJ Pigeon as we try a different line through the end of sector 1. Look at the run we have on DJ Pigeon. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make a move. Stick there as he chops across and stops our line through sector 2. Now he goes wide, exiting the chicane for the third time. He gets a really poor exit, and this could be third time's the charm for us as we go into the final corner. Unfortunately, we don't read his movements quick enough, and off the road we go. We get an illegal pass, but that won't matter as we're off the road anyway. We're gonna get overtaken by Frank Norbrook and Tira Main, which pushes us down into P7, and we're gonna have to gain those places again if we want a top 5 finish. This is a replay on the side of the track. You can see DJ Pigeon braking for the corner, but unfortunately we can't react fast enough and we have to take to the runoff. I'm not sure if that was moving under braking. My first impression of that was yes, that was moving under braking, but I'm not sure. You guys be the judge of that. But right, anyway, the scenario is we're down in P7 and Tira Main is battling with DJ Pigeon as they make contact, braking for turn 1. The hairpin of turn 1. Look at how close we are now to the back of this pack of 3 BMWs now. Tira Main getting into the slipstream of DJ Pigeon. DJ Pigeon goes defensive into turn 4. Tira Main's gonna try it around the outside. This is gonna be amazing if he makes the move done, but unfortunately he can't. They make more contact. DJ Pigeon has gone sideways, and now Tira Main slows down. Maybe he got an illegal pass. And now we're through into P6. Frank Norbrook has just gained about 2 positions there, and that little kerfuffle between DJ Pigeon and Tira Main. But Frank Norbrook and I are the big winners in that situation. Look at the slipstream we have on DJ Pigeon. This is sort of the same scenario as when we almost made contact with him when we had to go wide. Unfortunately, we can't get ahead before the turn, but on the exit we make even more contact, and that compromises our exit. Tira Main is now back into P6. We're back down into P7. Tira Main, look at them fighting. Look at the weaving that's going on. The BMW drivers are getting really aggressive here at Bahrain. Tira Main switches to the inside. He sends it, but unfortunately he misses braking zone and he goes wide, which once again allows us to be promoted up into P6. So the order is Frank Norbrook in P4, DJ Pigeon in P5, ourselves in P6, and Tira Main in P7. That is gonna conclude the battle between us 4 as the final lap ends and Nico Hochi takes the win from Tobias Agronik. That overtake at the start of the race proved very crucial for him. Now this is gonna be a first for us on the channel. A second race in a single video, a 2-for-1 special, as right away we're gonna go green for a second time. You get a really good reaction time, but the acceleration of the BMWs are absolutely insane. Look at Lexus on the right hand side. His acceleration is not very good, such as the characteristics of that car. Going to turn 1, we're on the outside, which is kind of risky as we make contact with someone on the inside, and our fellow Mustang driver also capitalizes on that little bit of contact we had. Unfortunately for him though, he does have a drive-through penalty and he might have got an illegal pass on us. He lets us by, but then goes down the inside again to try to retake the position. The BMW is on the left. He's made contact with somebody there. He cuts the track. I didn't expect that, so we had to compromise our line, and we're still in P7. But that is fine. Luckily, we don't have any damage so far, and we are still in this race. Now though, we're gonna look at the battle for P1. Once again, in our second race in a row, we have a battle for P1 ends between the Lexus of Azzedine Youssef and Artemi Bapukos. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name again, but they're going neck and neck down the main straight. Bapukos pushes Youssef almost to the wall as they brake for turn 1. The hairpin of turn 1, Youssef parks it on the apex, does not allow Artemi Bapukos any room to perform the switchback. However, the BMW driver is gonna get another dose of the slipstream, a second bite of the cherry. Going into turn 4, the second best overtaking opportunity on this track. He's gonna try to go right around the outside just like Nico Hochi tried to do with Tobias Ogronic, but it could be this same outcome. But he's still gonna try it on Azzedine Youssef. Going into sector 2 into the chicane, he has to concede and go single file through the left-right section. For us though, we're watching Luqueta and Emmanuel Planet in the Aston Martin battle for position as the Aston Martin runs wide on the exit of turn 1, which compromises his line into turn 2, but then the BMW runs wide exiting turn 3. So all this is gonna compromise all their runs onto this back straight. So as you brake for turn 4, Luqueta's on the inside of Emmanuel Planet. He pushes him wide. We're now side by side with Emmanuel Planet through turn 5. This is great racing from both of us. Unfortunately, just like what Artemi Bapukos had to do with Azzedine Youssef, we have to concede through the chicane and go single file through there. But now, since we held back into the chicane, we're now gonna get a run on Emmanuel Planet. Going into the final corner, can we make this move stick this time? Yes, we can. Into the final corner of turn 11, we do manage to make it stick as we're now on board with Luqueta in the number 69 BMW as we watch ourselves going down the main straight. In the mirrors though, Emmanuel Planet is not done with us. He's gonna get the slipstream on us now. The Aston Martin straight line speed is no slouch, so we're gonna go defensive into turn 1. We brake for turn 1. We go a tad bit deep, but we still meet the apex. And look at the right hand side of the screen. That is a Lexus, and that is Azzedine Youssef, who's had a spin there for whatever reason. Let's look at the replay. Once again, he was battling with Artemi Bapukos. Bapukos once again also pushing him nearly to the wall as they make a lot of contact, which causes Azzedine Youssef to seemingly lock up his brakes, and on the runoff where there's no grip, he spins across the track and unfortunately gets caught by our fellow Mustang driver. So he loses a couple positions, and he could also lose another position to the Mercedes in his mirrors, and yes, he does, to the number 62 Iron Lynx Mercedes, I believe it is. Fast forward to lap 8. Look at Luqueta in the BMW going a bit defensive as he slows right down. Going into turn 1, that catches us off guard. So as we meet the apex of turn 2, unfortunately we get a huge tank slapper, and unfortunately we cannot save it, and we're off into the gravel. And just like Azzedine Youssef, we've lost a couple positions. We've lost positions to Adams and Azzedine Youssef, who had the spin earlier. Emmanuel Planet also gets ahead of us due to his overspeed as we rejoin the track. However, we could make quick work of Planet here in the Aston Martin as we go into lap 9. We're in the slipstream. We're gonna switch to the inside, late on the brakes for turn 1, and it should be move done. We go a little bit wide into turn 1, but yeah, on the next corner we get a good enough exit, and Planet cannot do anything about it. He's still in the slipstream and could make a move into turn 4, but he's a little bit too far back, so that is P6 secured for us. Later on in the race though, we do get right in the back of Azzedine Youssef. This is lap 13 now with 4 minutes to go. Azzedine Youssef probably has suspension damage, which is slowing down his pace a lot. He should be battling with Artemi Bapukos in front, but with his damage he has fallen right down to our clutches. As look at his straight line speed, he's going really slow. He's gonna go defensive on the inside. Look at the camera angle, go in turn 1, that is beautiful. We're gonna try to get the switch back on Youssef. It does work, but unfortunately we're on the outside of turn 2. We don't have the confidence to send it around the outside, so we're gonna get another dose of the slipstream. He goes defensive once again into turn 4. We brake just before the 100-meter board. We're gonna try around the outside, but we wash out wide a little bit there. And so Azzedine Youssef, the Algerian, keeps his place. We're still gonna try to stick with him though through sector 2. Let's try to nail this chicane so we can get a run until final corner, or maybe the T1 on the next lap. A run through the chicane wasn't bad at all. So look at the slipstream we have on Youssef as his straight line speed is hindered by his damage. We're gonna back out of it though and try to get a really good run out of T11. But by doing that, we get too eager on the throttle, and unfortunately we spin around and we're gonna lose a couple of positions. But yeah, we've gone to looking for a top 5 finish to tumbling down into P10. After that one, not much really happened, so we're gonna be skipping to the final lap of the race already. Look at Emmanuel Planet in the Aston leading this pack. That is the McLaren and the Mercedes battling for position. There's also a Porsche in the Benz livery waiting to pick up the scraps. They're almost 3 wide going to turn 1. The McLaren is really eager to get past this Aston Martin of Emmanuel Planet. As you can see, they were also right in the back of this train, so if anything happens, we're right there to pick up the scraps and gain a couple of more positions. Now though, the McLaren driver is fully ahead of the Aston Martin. They're still kind of side by side, but the McLaren's done it. In front of us now, the Mercedes and the Porsche battling into sector 2. This is gonna slow us down a lot. Look behind in our mirrors, there's a BMW also looking to pounce on us. Look at how slow we're going through the chicane of sector 2, nearly 80 kilometers an hour, but we get a decent exit out of the chicane, at least better than the Porsche in front of us. We're gonna tuck into slipstream and pull out of it just in time. So as we brake into the final corner, we get late enough on the brakes as the Porsche behind also gets hit by the BMW of Locantro for good measure. But with half a lap of fuel to go, we're gonna cross the line for a P9. Not the optimal finishing position. We could have maybe looked at a P3 finish. Sebastian Luqueta, who was just about a second in front of us. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video.